Sorry. Good evening and welcome to the March 12th, 2026 special meeting of the Aquifer Protection Agency held at 6:45 p.m. in room 133 of the Brookfield Town Hall and streamed live on YouTube. First, I'll have the members of the Planning and Zoning Commission as the agency present here this evening introduce themselves, starting from my left.
Anthony Papucci, Secretary.
Kurt Timmerman, Chair.
Greg Petricioni, regular member.
Mark Loengart, regular member.
Also present this evening is our Land Use Director, Laura Barkowski, and our Recording Secretary, Elizabeth Adams. Let's see, there are copies of the agenda up here on the table and on the town website. Feel free to come up and take a copy. So, we're going to dispense with the Pledge of Allegiance. We'll do that on our regular P&Z meeting.
Okay.
Review of the previous minutes, December 11th, 2025. That's the last time we had a special our regular meeting, actually. I'll take a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes, but there are some corrections.
All right. Do I have a second first?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mark. And so, yeah, corrections?
It's just me.
Yeah, due to my misspeaking of the dates in the last meeting, all of the references of the dates of January 8th, 2025 should be January 8th, 2026.
Okay. Thank you. Any other modifications, amendments, corrections? No? All in favor of accepting the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, unanimous. All right, so new business, 3A, 107 Vale Road, application Z-25-59, Iroquois Gas Transmission Systems. Are they here today?
Would you like paper copies?
Is it the same as
It's
what
the
we've
same.
done? No, that's all right. I think we already got them, and then
Just,
we
I
have.
wasn't sure, so I just made sure I had them, just in case.
Thanks, sure.
Right.
Oh, could you go up to the,
Sure, sorry.
and say your name and your address for the record?
Is that my gun? Nope.
Oh, there's a little button on the bottom, right?
Yes.
Yeah, great, thank you.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Kresick, address 340 Oregon Road, Cheshire, Connecticut. Right?
And what are you doing today?
So for the Vale Road project, we are proposing re-graveling of an existing access driveway. We're within the regulated adjacent area of a wetland, but the project as proposed is to just scrape off the existing gravel, remove it from the site, and put down new gravel.
There was some mention of the overgrowth, bushes, small trees and stuff like that. You're gonna be doing that?
No vegetation maintenance, overgrowth just as in there's like weeds growing through the
Oh,
gravel. Yep,
Okay,
yep.
all right,
No pesticide use, just mechanical scraping off the top layer and redressing.
yep. And let the record show that they got inland wetlands.
Inland wetlands approval was
approval
received.
on that one. And how often, do you have a continuing plan for maintenance, or is this, did you have a continuing plan for maintenance to do such as this? And if not, are you going to have one, instead of having to come back and get approval each time?
Definitely something that we would be interested in pursuing. I don't know what the maintenance schedule is going to be. This is the first time we've redressed it since we've had the facility. So in terms of frequency, it probably wouldn't be something we're looking at in the immediate future. But if this and the wetland agency were amenable to us having an ongoing maintenance plan, we would definitely be willing to pursue that in the future. But right now, this is just a one-time
All right.
approval that we're
And
seeking.
how long has it been since you first put it in?
Do you know how long we've had that mainline valve facility? It's been quite a while, or since it's been maintained. It's since before my time. It's probably 5 or 10 years at least since it was last done. I don't know if there was maintenance prior to my time with the company.
All right, all right. We looked at where the location is, and your documentation here. Any questions from the commission on what they plan to do?
What is the, it kind of looks like it goes to nowhere. What is the,
It's a
or had
it's
been-
a valve facility for Iroquois pipeline, so it's just a fenced-in.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
The section that you're trying to,
You're looking at, does the map look like this?
Yeah.
So that blue rectangle at the end is our fenced-in facility, and the gravel
Okay,
leads
so
to it.
there's
It's
a
just the
remote-
driveway.
A remote valve over, okay.
Yep,
All right, yeah, so to access.
yep, just for access.
Okay. Yeah, no, it just kind of looked like it went to nowhere, so that's.
Yeah, these valves just come out of the ground
Yeah.
and then go back
Yeah,
in underneath.
yeah, I'm very familiar with them, so.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think they have one along 84 you can see come out and go back in.
Well, there's on Route 6 in Newtown, there's on 25 in Newtown, there's one right at exit 10 off ramp in Newtown,
Oh,
so
yeah.
fairly familiar with them.
Okay.
How frequently do these valves require access?
Not that frequently, it's more just for a maintenance schedule if something has to be, has to happen at the facility.
Okay.
We just want to keep the driveway maintained, but they're not manned stations, so.
Okay.
How were you made aware that you needed to do this? Do you have someone go out there periodically?
Yeah, we have field employees, so they visit all of our facilities periodically and just notice that the gravel's kind of in rough shape and needs to be cleaned up.
Okay. All right, any other questions from the commission? No? All in favor of approving the application, say aye.
All right.
Aye.
That's unanimous. All right, thank you. And I guess you'll stay right there, right?
Thank you.
3B is 60 High Meadow Road, application Z-25-63, again, Iroquois Gas Transmission Systems, application for a certificate of zoning compliance. So why don't you tell us about this one, which seemed to have taken a little time to get through the
Sure.
wetlands.
So if you may recall, in 2024, there was a pretty significant rain event that washed out infrastructure all over the state of Connecticut. One such piece of infrastructure was a retaining wall that supports land partial adjacent to our driveway for a compressor station. So we have successfully designed a replacement wall and are hoping to go ahead and fix that.
And what was it that the Inland Wetlands was concerned about? I know what my concerns are, that it doesn't wash out again.
Yeah.
You know, you build it stronger and maybe an event that's even worse than what we got. So did they have similar concerns, and what did you do to address those?
The majority of their concerns were related to the proximity of the wall to the watercourse. It's a very tight working space. And so they just wanted to make sure that we'd taken a very close look and that the PE who designed the wall had taken a very close look and everything was appropriately sized. There were some concerns about runoff and scouring and making sure that we were addressing those with the design such that there wouldn't be future issues. Calculations for a 100 and a 500-year storm event to make sure that the new wall is appropriately sized to handle if there's additional anomalous rain events such as the one that we already had.
Yeah.
And just really taking a close look at every aspect of the design to make sure there was an initial conversation about the sizing of the wall because of the proximity to the watercourse, making sure that we weren't increasing our footprint, making sure that we had appropriate, the sediment and erosion controls were a little bit complicated due to the previously existing wall now being in the watercourse. So figuring out the best plan for retrieval of those materials without impacting the watercourse.
And what was it looks like the new wall is in the same position as the old wall, just more robust, better designed, I assume.
Yes, that's true.
Any other questions from commissioners?
With the rebuilding, I guess that's the question, are they rebuilding, or is this going to be a net new wall, retaining wall, that's gonna be built in place of the one that's there that may or may not be?
It's a combination. So the portions of the existing wall that are there are going to be reused. The blocks that are in the retaining wall are going to be reused, but my colleague Elijah is here. You'll be talking to him later tonight for planning and zoning. We're putting in a site plan modification as technically a replacement structure, but
Okay,
I'm sure there's going to be a combination of new and existing materials used.
okay, makes sense.
All right, I'll let the record show Commissioner Morales entered at 6:55. Any other questions from the commissioners? That looks pretty straightforward. I'm glad it passed wetlands, and we need access to that in
Yes.
case something goes wrong.
Absolutely.
So, all right, now all in favor of the application as described, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right, unanimous.
A motion for that? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right.
Okay, I got-
Can I have a motion
Really,
for
I don't
approval?
think we did that for the other one, so
Yeah.
I got confused and thought.
Yeah,
maybe
you're
it was-
right. Can I have a motion to approve 107 Vale Road Z-25-59 and 60 High Meadow Road Z-25-63?
I make a motion as stated by Chairman Timmerman for both Z-25-59 and Z-25-63.
All right, thanks, Tony. And a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mark. Now all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, thanks. That is unanimous. All right, and then the last piece of business, adjourning the meeting.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Thank you, Tony. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Greg? All in favor of adjourning to the Aquifer meeting, say aye.
Aye.
All right, great. I'm ready when you are. All right.
No, because I made sure.
We're still live.
Yep. Good evening and welcome to the March 12th, 2026 regular meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission held at 7 p.m. in room 133 of the Brookfield Town Hall and streamed live on YouTube. Please rise if you're able to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. First, I'll have the members of the Planning and Zoning Commission present here this evening introduce themselves, starting from my left.
Elliot Morales, alternate.
Anthony Papucci, secretary.
Kurt Timmerman, Chair.
Greg Petroscioni, regular.
Mark Loengart, regular member.
Also present this evening is our Land Use Director, Laura Barkowski, and our Recording Secretary, Elizabeth Adams. Tonight, Elliot Morales will be a voting member. Copies of the agenda are up here on the table and on the town website. Feel free to come up and take a copy if you don't have one already. First order of business, review of the previous minutes of February 26, 2026.
Make a motion to
thank you.
approve the meetings from February 26, 2026.
All right, thank you, Tony. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Is there any modifications, corrections, adjustments? Anybody saw? No, it looked all right. All right, all in favor of accepting the minutes of February 26, 2026, say aye.
Aye.
All right, unanimous. We have no correspondence to review, no continued public hearings, no public hearings starting. Old business, 6A, 7 Dorset Lane, application PL-25-2 lot line revision. We still don't have the sign off from the sanitarian, so I'll take a motion to continue this to our next meeting on March 26th.
I make a motion to continue PL 25-2 to our next meeting.
All right, thank you, Tony. Do I have a second on that continuation?
Second.
Thank you, Craig. Any discussion on the motion? I won't be here next meeting. Scott will be running the meeting, just so you guys know. And besides the planning one, so he's a perfect one to chair the meeting. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, unanimous. Okay, old business 6B. This had been continued from a previous 16 South Lake Shore Drive, application Z-26-4. So if the applicant would like to come up, state your name and address for the record. To the podium?
First or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the podium. Yeah, that's got a microphone right there.
All right, good evening. For the record, my name is Steve Sullivan, professional engineer with Haley Ward, and I'm joined by,
Miles Lynch, 16 South Lake Shore.
and so what the applicant is trying to do is tear down, rebuild the existing structure that's there, only down to the foundation. They're going to reuse the foundation and build the same footprint. So on the lakeside, on our survey and our site plan, the FEMA map, the FEMA line does clip the southwest corner, but the actual building structure is not in the FEMA area. There's an existing deck, elevated deck, the FEMA line goes through, but that's staying.
Yep.
We're not changing that. And we're not proposing any grading in the floodplain.
Okay.
So we're not changing the grades there at all.
And so the main reason you're here is because it's a floodplain application
Correct.
rather than a regular zoning application. So
Correct.
because it's in the floodplain as defined by FEMA, and the maps changed recently, so we're gonna see no, not recent. The maps are what the
2010.
maps are.
Right, 2010 it
Yeah.
changed.
Yeah, we've seen a few of these come in front of us
Right.
to go over this.
Right.
And this is on the lake, at Candlewood Lake.
Yes,
Yes.
correct, yes.
So, and then you had to go get variance
Yep.
from the
Which
ZBA, which you received.
They did
Yes.
receive that, yes.
And was this just like a pre-existing non-conforming, the
Yep.
stuff
Yes.
that's gonna stick out, including the new building?
Actually, the only
Just
thing
the
that's
deck.
new is the balcony proposed off the west side. That's the only thing that's new, that's the new variance.
Yes,
The other variances were pre-existing non-conforming.
yep,
And actually, we got rid of one, there was a chimney that was non-conforming, we got rid of that.
oh, I see it sticking out. Oh, well, it looks like is that the one on the north side that you're
No,
going?
there was one on the south side that was existing, that's
Oh.
no longer, that
Oh, I
would be
see.
part of the new project.
Okay, so you've made that,
That's
the
conform.
ZBA says it's gonna be more conforming, but can we
Right.
have that little corner there?
Correct, for the balcony, it's elevated, it's not on the ground.
Yep. And your neighbor is First Light. All right.
Yeah.
And so.
We have wetlands approval.
Yep. Any questions from the commission on this application? So, and the house is still gonna be same number of stories?
It's gonna be two
It
stories.
goes from a 1.5 to a 2.
Okay,
Yeah, same bedrooms.
yeah.
Same
The
height.
height, though, is generally the same. If it was 1.5, it wouldn't be too much taller, right?
Correct, yes.
Well, within right, yeah.
Yeah,
Probably talking over 5 feet,
33.1.
26 and a half.
5 feet tall.
Okay.
is the
5 feet
building.
taller?
Probably over that, I would
Yeah.
think.
Yep.
Okay. Any questions from the commission on this? So the reason they're coming from is because it's in the floodplain. Yeah, not because, it's within, except for the variance you got, it's within all the regs, height, setback.
Correct.
Except for the
Yeah,
variance.
coverage, building coverage,
Yeah,
yeah.
building coverage.
Yep.
right. And usually it's pretty straightforward, as
They've
the
done-
other ones we've seen.
The
Right.
permit and all that with the neighbors and all that kind of stuff, or is that different?
Yep, and all the neighbors have been notified, certified letters, they've seen drawings, they're all good. Yep.
And they're aware of the height change?
Yes, yep, they are.
That wouldn't matter anyway, because within
Yeah,
range.
it's within.
Yeah. Any other questions from the commission? No? All right, I mean, looks pretty straightforward. So, do I have can I get a motion to approve 16 South Lake Shore Drive?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve Z-26-4, Michael Bruno, 125 Commerce Drive, Brookfield, for Miles G. and Lee K. Links, floodplain and development application for demolition and rebuild of the home on an existing foundation.
All right, thank you. Second on that?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mark. Any more discussion on this motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, unanimous?
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Good night.
All right, 7A, 60 High Meadow Road, Z-26-9, Iroquois Gas Transmission System, Site Plan Mod.
Yep.
So if you state your name and address for the record.
Yep.
And tell us what this is all about.
Elijah Samra, and I live at 427 Howe Avenue, apartment 106, Shelton, Connecticut. And so, just as Lindsay, my counterpart, was speaking about earlier, we had a failed retaining wall that was washed out during that big storm that we had back in 2024. And we're looking to do an in-kind replacement. So it's going to be using some of the blocks that are right now on site and bringing in some new ones, depending on our analysis if any of them are damaged or broken. And we're going to we're going to be creating the site in a way where it doesn't fail again, pretty much. So we've done studies where we did a 100-year study and a 500-year study. We had a PE stamp drawing saying that this is going to withstand those things and how much rainfall is going to fall in that area as well.
All right. And the wetlands, approved this because they saw it wasn't going to damage the wetlands.
Correct.
And
Watercourse.
have you already removed the old material from the wetlands, or are you waiting for approval?
Waiting for approval before
All right.
we do that.
All right. Any other questions from the commission?
No.
Essentially restating what the other one said.
Right.
All right. That's good. You're fixing it.
Yeah.
Oh, and how long do you think it'll take to rebuild it? Or let me ask you another question. Do you have access to the compressor station now in case there's an emergency?
Yes, we do have access to the
Yeah.
compressor station now.
You just don't, you want to make sure you don't fall in with the rest of the stuff.
Yep. God forbid any other storms come our way.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, okay. All right, I'll take a motion to approve 60 High Meadow Road, Z-26-9.
I'll make a motion to approve 60 High Meadow Road, Z-26-9, the Iroquois Gas Transmission System, site plan modification application for the High Meadow Road retaining wall replacement project.
All right, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Elliot. Any discussion on the motion on the floor? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, unanimous. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yep.
Have a good night.
And the next one, 7B, 46 Federal Road, Z-26-13. Just like 16 South Lakeshore Drive, this is a floodplain application because it's in the floodplain. So if you say your name and address for the record, please.
Michelle Morris Macaulay, Artel Engineering Group, Brookfield, Connecticut.
All right, and if you'd describe your project and why you're here tonight, that'd
All
be
right.
great.
So it's 46 Federal Road, which is a 38,391 square foot property. It is the old circular building, which was the bank, which was then converted to the Burger King. The Burger King did substantial site improvements back in 2017, which we got a site approval from Zoning Commission and from Inland Wetlands. We're now before you for Bird Code, which is they are doing some interior renovations, and exterior there's minor cosmetic, painting, things like that. The site is encumbered by the FEMA flood plain for the Westbrook, which runs behind the Raymore Flanagan property, and it goes to our entrance from where the Raymore Flanagan gets into a culvert, goes underneath, and discharges to the Still River. That is a special, we're in the zone AE, which is a special flood hazard area zone with a base flood elevation of 286. So we're just here to get the flood permit, even though there's no exterior renovations to the property.
And all the stormwater work was done by the previous Burger King,
Correct.
which improved on when it was a bank.
Yes, so there was a stormwater infiltration system that was put under the driveway. There was a infiltration trench, so there's no curbing, and if you come around the drive-through, there's no curbing, there's an infiltration trench, and that all gets piped out to the Westbrook, which goes to the Still River.
All right, so it seems pretty straightforward, just like the other one.
Yep.
Any questions from the commission? Do you know when it's gonna open?
Let's see.
Let's see what the answer is on this.
Very soon.
Yeah, okay.
Very soon.
Sooner
All right.
the better. Just start getting some money coming in.
Before the next flood. I'll take a motion to approve 46 Federal Road.
I'll make a motion to approve 46 Federal Road Z-26-13 for Michelle Morris Mercati of Airtel Engineering Group for the floodplain development application for the interior building renovations.
All right, thank you, Tony. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Greg. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you very
Talk
much.
to you soon.
Yeah.
Good luck with your chickens.
Yeah. All right, tabled items, 8A. We discussed, enforcement and everything. So I have a proposal. The ideas we had for enforcement didn't change any of the language that's gonna go into things. So I propose that we actually put the application in with the language that we had developed and start the process. And which includes a public hearing, sending it out to WestCog, Western Council of Government, and who else do we send it to, Laura?
Neighboring towns?
Yeah, to the neighboring towns, so we can get feedback, and they give us their feedback within 35 days, is it?
Westcog does within 35 days.
Yeah, WestCog, yeah. And then we can, schedule the public hearing, so the public can have their chance to talk about it and look it over. And hopefully we'll get, maybe we'll try to advertise as much as possible to get people to come in and give their thoughts on it, because, concerns people in the town. So we try to do that for all the other sort of public hearings on important changes like this, like cannabis and the moratorium.
Moratorium.
Yeah. So if you think that's good, then I will submit the application into the land use office on their brand new form, and then we'll start the process. So what will happen is we'll actually, can you set the public hearing for us?
If you like, we can certainly set the public hearing date. I know the commission has historically set it for themselves, but I don't think you have any public hearings pending. So
Yeah.
it would just depend on when the application is submitting. I
Okay.
have to give WestCog 35 days.
Yeah. All right. I'll try to submit it tomorrow. I'll have to do it remotely. All right. So I guess
Mr.
we'll.
Chair, just for a quick clarification, is this for a short-term rental and accessory
No,
dwelling regulation?
no,
or
no, just for
short-term
short-term
rental?
regulation, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
That's the only one we really discussed so far, short-term
Correct.
regulations at length. And I think we have some good language in there to tighten the process and everything. So it's a good starting point. And the town attorney has looked it over, and gave us his red lines and everything. So that's been included in all of that. So I think it's a good starting point. All right, maybe we should, you want to make a motion? I want to make it more official for me to put the application in. For the
I make a
commission.
motion, as chairman stated, to put the application in.
All right, and do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Elliot. All in favor of putting an application in this motion, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, great. That's unanimous. I'm not sure if we should discuss 310 tonight. Why don't we wait on that till we get more people on board? And plus, we still have that homework. Everybody's got to drive by down there. And admittedly, I didn't drive by down there yet. And some
I did.
people live there. You did? Of course, you drive there every day. Stop it.
Drive by where?
Candlewood Shores and that, and the areas, you know, on the lake where there's a high density of boats,
Yeah.
and boats illegally parked and
Boats, trailers.
Okay.
Lots of cars.
recreational.
The lot, the area, the homes and.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Arrowhead Point, from Arrowhead Point all the way to the top,
Yeah.
just to get a feel for, you know, it's a good time because this is the winter, everybody's boat is out to get
Yeah.
an idea of the issue, how big of an issue it is. So
Should we take pictures if we see something?
that-
Not
No,
necessary?
actually, Laura and
Laura-
they went on a, they took a lot of pictures, so if you look back, you'll see those pictures
Yeah.
Okay.
of
They
examples.
want to
Yeah,
scavenger hunt.
yeah.
Yeah.
Lori, right?
Laura,
Laura, yeah, if you could send me anything from the short-term rentals.
Yeah.
I mean, from previous, no?
it should all be on, so
Oh, is-
anything you click on the agenda there
Uh-huh,
is, has all the materials.
gotcha, all
So
right.
on the agenda are all the materials that we'll be getting via this format instead of via
Here,
paper.
click on that.
There will be no delivery of packets,
If you scroll
There
down,
will be
you
no
should
more
see
delivery
pictures.
packets.
no more
Okay.
packets, you're looking
If
at
they
it.
were included.
How do we read
And that
up
looks
on
like
all
it's
this
just
stuff
minutes.
ahead of
Okay.
time or anything else?
Oh,
So just like the
Yeah,
agenda's
no,
always
that's
been
just
sent to you,
update.
it's kind of been sent in this format where the links have always
The
been
links
there
are
and
gonna be there.
embedded,
Okay.
so you can actually
Okay, so
either,
all the links are in the email,
all
but
the
there's
links are in
no,
it.
there's no way to just access any
the
system
bottom?
per se
They're not,
and
it's not in the email, but.
go to one specific. You have to find an email. and go
Okay.
to-
I think if you go to this.
No, I mean
We'll
remotely.
get you copies.
You can download the meeting packet. You-
Oh, yeah, you can download that and it all comes through as PDFs.
And that can actually be done right at the top of your screen. If
Uh-huh.
you packet
I could
PDF,
ask her to
Yeah.
send me.
the
yeah.
red,
It's-
red,
it's-
excuse me, blue.
It's pretty
rectangles.
obvious, I mean,
Yeah.
again, it's not,
Oh, see, at the top
We were
of
talking
the
about the shorts,
agenda,
but
that
Yep.
right
It's-
there, that packet PDF.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, no, you're in the, yeah,
Because
there
I'm
you
new,
go,
I
go
wanna
to the
catch
top.
up.
Yeah.
You know,
On the
especially
right.
with the
Giant
short-term
pack
rentals.
PDF.
Yeah, that'll give you all those documents as one big thing and you can look through them. It
Okay.
takes a
here,
little.
that'll help you for the
So
short-term
when
rental.
you,
Oh,
when you email the agenda
Unless
out,
you want
this
one
is
that's
always
not
an,
marked up.
has always been an
That
option.
Mark up that one's not.
PDF
Oh,
Yeah.
link will be.
And
Take
then
the
you
one
have
that you
access to it here in whichever
All
way you
right, good.
prefer.
And you can't
Okay.
take this home.
Yeah.
This stays here.
Yeah, no, I figured that much.
This is not yours to keep. It's not like high school.
No, no. Well, high school, I'm pretty sure it was not
Pictures.
too dissimilar from when you were there.
Yeah.
We didn't have our own
I've got
computers
No,
in
we
high
we
school.
didn't.
So she
Oh.
sends it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they send out emails to all the commissioners.
All right, so let's not discuss 8B tonight, but how about 9, commissioner comments and informal discussion? Anybody have anything they want to talk about? Anything that they wondered about? If not, as people thinking if they have anything to say, on adjournment, the next meeting is.
Yeah, no, just
wrong.
question real quick on
Yeah.
the 310.
Yeah.
So this kind of focused around the shores, correct?
That just seemed to be no, it's for everything, but that
The
seemed to
whole
be
town.
the worst
Correct.
offender.
Yes. Okay, so,
Yes.
I was gonna say, because they're kind of their own, they set their own standards on top of whatever we,
Yeah, but we
do,
set the base
so,
standards, and
yeah.
they're not even meeting those.
And we've had other complaints through the commission, through the years, dumpsters being on property, cars, I think
I know,
Hidden
I know.
Brook is the one with the
Oh, yeah.
27 cars and all the other stuff. There's a lot, again, the shores were just easy, that's the low-lying fruit.
Yep.
You've got a ton of houses in a very small confined
yeah.
area,
no,
but
I-
this is
Yep,
for the whole town.
And it's a difficult problem to solve because it does exist, and it's hard to do what's fair to the people who live there. You can't all of a sudden say, hey, you're breaking the rules, now we're gonna fine you $150 a day.
Right.
You have to somehow come up with a solution to resolve that issue. And yeah, truly, there are bad actors in there that, that maybe they should be fined, but there's a lot of people that shouldn't because
Correct.
they're not really that bad, and the neighbors, everybody's got the same problem, and everybody lives with it,
Right.
to some extent down there. But whatever we do, we have to make it consistent across the entire town. That said, you know, just like different zones have different setbacks and stuff, recognizing the size of the property. I don't know what it would be if there would be something similar to that zone-based. And that's where you have to put your thinking caps on and say, what would work? You know, what would work to make it fair for the neighbors and for the homeowners to kind of solve this problem of getting those out? Because it's not just a blight, if you want to use a word like that, but it's also safety.
Right.
So all those things have to be thought of. And one, for your edification, Elliot, one of the things we talked about was maybe merging a couple of the different regulations. One regulation is you can have 6 cars on your driveway, and 5 of them have to be registered. And then the other regulation is you can have 2 recreational things, 1 recreational vehicle and 1 trailer. So that's like 2 things.
Right.
And we thought, well, maybe we should just have an overall number and merge them together, so that some people have more boats than cars. So maybe they can do it that way, and so they can have more boats. But we also have to think about the volume and things like that, we thought, because you don't want to be too close to your neighbor. And by the way, they do have setbacks on this. First, you have to be on an established drive, like gravel or something. And then you have to be, you know, outside the setbacks. Like for the R7, it's 10 feet.
Right.
But for like an R40, it's 30 feet, and R60 is, you know, 50 feet. So those are the other regulations that apply there, because you don't want to disturb your neighbors with that big thing there. So that's what we're trying to, we wanted to have everybody look at, here's what the problem is, and that's one problem there. And there's examples elsewhere in town about people having their boats on R40s, but right near the lawn, right near the fence. So how do we solve that problem? So one of them was combining it, but the other thing about an established drive is you don't want an established drive so big that it's like the entire front. We do have regulations on impervious coverage. You can't, you know, pave over your whole front yard because you'd have too much runoff. But we don't want people to put a bunch of gravel in because that's pervious, and they get around that problem. You know, a lot of people get around established drive by, put some gravel down. Now, now my boat's an established drive.
Right.
So we have to balance that too. Look for the loopholes before other people find them.
Yeah.
Are there certain grandfathered ideas within that, or for instance, I don't know, specifically in my neighborhood,
Yeah.
There are people that have their boats or trailers that have been there for 50 years.
Now, I think, you know, there is this law, you know, if it's been there 3 years, then it's grandfathered in. But I think the real reading is if it's been there for 3 years and the town has known about it and done nothing, then it might be.
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean the town's known about it.
Well, that's my point, is the town's been out there and said, hey, you know, that's too close, and they've done nothing about it for 3 years. Then it's
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
well, the town should have done something, but they
I
did
think, like,
nothing.
how conspicuous it is, that's
Yeah.
really what it comes
Well,
down to.
yeah, no, but again, different times a year, certainly more conspicuous than others. For instance, during the summer, you have leaves and the boats are generally in the water. So the trailer isn't as conspicuous as the winter when there's no leaves. The boat is also on the trailer, and now you have it covered with a big white mushroom,
Yeah.
Yeah.
marshmallow type, you know,
Yeah.
as, you know, kind of, or the, you know, like Echo Bay with the blue wrappers
Yeah.
or whatever, certainly more conspicuous.
Now, you're
And-
right, Greg, because just up the street from you, maybe 5 houses,
Yep.
is just that situation. They have a boat under one of those Kwanzaa hut
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
And it's been there a long time, and it was maybe 15 years ago. The CEO said, hey, but they said, no, it's been here, you know, since time immemorial. And so it is grandfathered in.
Okay.
As long as they don't take
Well,
it down.
well, you gotta keep
So they
covering
keep it up, yeah.
But I guess the question is, he's got So does he have one of those covered tops that the boat is sliding in?
Right,
And
yes.
that, and that.
It's a structure.
Right, but that's a
Garage, whatever,
structure.
is there
That's,
all the
that's
time,
just
yeah.
not
Yeah,
a
structure.
boat being thrown in the
Yes,
backwoods.
exactly. If it disappears and it comes back.
Right.
Well, no, I mean, and to the point that that structure is there all the time.
Yes.
Like,
That's grandfathered in.
my is just the trailer and the boat. You know, obviously the boat comes and goes seasonally, but the trailer stays.
there.
Um,
No,
You know, like-
I'm hearing no.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm,
thinking not, it's not a structure, it's.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's defined.
Would it
as
show
a-
as far as
on it-
practice, though, is not.
So what really brought this up was actually the opposite of what everyone's focusing on, which is
Yeah.
really kind of interesting to me. It was a complaint not in the shores that I received, but based off of the rules as it was read, as they're written, there
Yeah.
were so many violations in the shores. I didn't feel comfortable, or we didn't feel like maybe that we have to look at this again, because if
Yeah.
everybody is in violation, then maybe it's time to look at the regulation again.
Yeah.
So, but I would definitely wanna, whatever we decide to draft, I would refer to town council.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure
Oh, absolutely.
that,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We're following.
Well,
Yeah.
and the reason I'm not in the shores, and the reason we have acre properties where and but the properties aren't necessarily usable in most areas except for where the driveways are or whatever, to put a boat or anything else,
Yeah.
because it's on the side of a hill.
Yes.
So you kind of put it where you have access, and I know on a couple of them, it ends up butting right up to a property line, or, in
amazing,
a
there's a lot.
side front-ish yard and stuff like that. Because that's where there's room to do it. Again, seasonally, it's gonna be more conspicuous than others
Yeah.
for a boat. And, short of putting a permanent-ish structure up, or a structure that sits there all the time, my concern is, my neighborhood, the houses are coming up on about 50 years old, for the most part. Some are a little bit older than others, one a little bit newer than others. However, this, and with the exception of one neighbor who I'm not concerned what happens to him, but the rest of us try and keep them decent. You're not, we're not 17 cars, we're not, all kinds of stuff everywhere and all that. It's, 2 or 3 cars and a boat, or, a personal watercraft, stuff like that. It's, as far as space is concerned, nothing's right on top of each other. Nothing's, piled in like a commercial parking lot. But unfortunately, the way the properties are, a lot of times it ends up that, the boat is in the driveway or on the edge of the driveway, but it's in the yard.
Yeah.
It's in the front yard, or it's on the
Yeah.
property line, basically.
It's
And-
all throughout town.
Yeah.
right.
well, so, and that's what I'm saying, my concern is that I don't want to, whatever we're setting the new standard as, I don't want to affect historic, 40-plus year
In
of,
violation already, so I don't know how it could be,
since when though?
at least since 2018.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm talking, 70,
Yeah.
78, 79, I
Yeah.
mean.
And we could go and do a look back, but to Laura's point, if
Yeah.
a lot of people are in violation, then maybe the reg needs to be changed. And that's what we
That's
did
kinda what I'm looking
with
for,
zone
you know.
sizes.
Right.
Yep.
When we did the reg rewrite, we created a half-acre zone because there was just too many variances coming through for sheds and stuff because, hey, they're already.
You need room to put
Yeah,
things,
yeah.
and you want
know,
to.
and so it
you
has,
don't want to
it has
leave
less,
it just in the.
less
You want to try and keep
setbacks
it
for
neat.
stuff.
Correct.
And so this is an example of if there's so many, if everybody had to go get a variance to put their boat in, And maybe the problem is not, the variance, it's the
Agreed.
reg.
Agreed.
And that's what we're trying to craft, something that, doesn't, something that allows kind of what's there to a point, but not too much.
Right, and to stay with that point, noting that the zones definitely make a difference. If you are in
Yeah.
a zone of 45 versus a zone 7, what you can do in that space is
Yeah.
gonna be different. Again, you're limited by the actual space.
Yeah, space constraints, so that's why we have to think about, come up with some, ideas, whether it's merging those two to have a total number of cars and recreational vehicles. And then also how much driveway you're gonna put them in, because both of those things require established drives to put them in. And so we might have to think about, well, maybe we have to look at what does that mean and restrictions on that, so we don't go crazy. But then, the R7s have less room to do something anyway.
Right.
So you can't, do much with your established drive, you just don't have the room.
Probably
You can't
You
be
might not-
parking on top of
In
your
an
septic
R7,
fields.
right, in an R7, you might not have
Yeah.
a driveway.
Yeah,
'Cause-
you have your septic fields you have to
Probably
be
not.
away from, your well you have to
Is
be
that
away
what?
from. so-
Satellite view.
Right.
Yeah, you can get that in Google Maps.
Yeah.
So that's what I want everybody to think about. A clever way to solve the problem.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Just go layers. Terrain. Satellite.
So that's why I also did the homework. And where do you live? Maybe we should also put that on the homework.
He's pulling it up.
I want to do a drive-by.
The funny part is he could have typed in the address and I would have just went right to
Yeah,
it.
We
can you
kill
type
the
in the
mics here.
address? A lot of clicking going on there.
So this is, so that's the Hanover boat ramp
Mhm.
in Newtown right there.
Yeah,
So the houses are all closer to the street
yeah,
side, so there's not much, there's plenty of property behind
And
down to the water.
and it's steeply sloped too.
But it's steep, so, like that, there's a drive, a parking area there.
Yeah.
That's a boat right there.
Yeah,
It's
which
on
is
a,
probably
it's
in
on
the town.
paved.
It's probably in the town right away. Maybe. Who knows?
Well, it's completely off the road, but it's on a paved area at the top of the driveway.
Yes.
Mine, again, you're inconspicuous, more conspicuous,
Mm-hmm.
is literally right, the property lines, basically somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Mine's right there,
Yeah.
which you can't see it all,
Yeah.
right now.
Mhm.
I know this one is parked below the wall right here. There's probably one or two that are right here.
Mm-hmm.
This one's right at the top of the driveway here.
Yeah.
Like, they're on paved surfaces.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not,
And they've been there, like, my house was built in 74, 75. The one next to me is a little bit, this one's, previous, it's prior to that.
Yeah.
This one over here was, pulled up out of the lake.
Yeah.
This one here was moved from, Southville,
Mm-hmm.
which was the town under the lake, and relocated up here.
Wow.
This one basically has no driveway. This dead-end property, they put a little parking area in recently, but had the dead end was
Yeah.
where they had been parking historically,
Yeah.
because they had nothing.
Yeah.
So while, and generally speaking, with the exception of one or two of them, the driveways are basically right along the property lines.
So maybe, you know, in some drafting of regs, we can also consider the constraints of topography.
Right.
You know, if we look at all these things, that's the sort of, you know, brainstorming. Also,
Yes, so
I'll look
like-
up the regs just to see how far back they go in relation to recreational vehicles, because that's the thing. If we mush them together, then we can make new ones.
Yeah, so like here, which for some reason, there's a lot of shade in this picture, right over my house. It's great, you can't see
It's
anything.
dark.
But we're all septic, all
Yeah.
the septics are directly, you know, directly behind the house.
Yeah.
So it's not like you could put anything down
Yes,
behind the
right,
house.
Right.
To get it out of the way. And,
Yeah.
you know, then you're going from people that have had plenty of, well, I mean, they've, as far as the driveways are concerned, plenty of room to park their boats in that general area where they've been. Like, well, even, so this, where'd it go? So this one that's covered, that's a pontoon boat right there.
Yeah.
The previous owner, that house was rebuilt in 2005. You know, entirely rebuilt, but the original house was from 70-ish, maybe 60s, and his boat was there the entire time he lived there until he moved, and this one bought it and put his boat there.
Yeah.
The original owner is the one that rebuilt the house that my new neighbor bought. So
So you know how we find out about violations?
gotta go around, look.
Neighbors. Neighbors complain about neighbors. Now, if everybody's doing the same thing, they're
Now,
like,
this neighbor, on the other hand, this one is a different story.
Right.
This one, the more enforcement, the better. But again, I'm
so
not putting
I would
addresses
say
out. I'm not putting
add
names
to-
out. I'm not saying.
I would say add to the homework, driving through Hanover and Hanover Ridge Road up in that area.
Little Nona
which
Drive.
is Little Nona Drive, you know.
Yeah,
down.
so
That shows, I mean, those are bigger lots, but they have topography problems.
Yep.
Whereas R7s are small lots, they just have.
Well,
you know, lot
well, they've got,
constraint.
R7s have topography
both.
problems,
Yeah, they
right,
have
both.
depending on where you are.
Yeah.
The ones closer to the lake, you're on the low side. As you go up,
yeah,
everything's humped.
Yeah.
Everything
We're
on.
in New England. We're not.
Yeah,
we're
I was
not
just saying,
flat
you're,
ground.
you're on the side of a mountain.
You know, like, if you
Yeah.
meet this criteria and this criteria, then, you know, do
Right.
it. But if not, then.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that and getting, you know, some
Yeah.
allowance for, you know,
For
ones that have been there for 50
Yeah.
years.
No, I agree.
That's,
I'm
I
just,
that
don't know
I'll have
how-
to ask the lawyer.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, like, if
Yeah.
someone has, like, a tiny boat and then they get a really large boat, like, does that carry over still?
Yeah, I mean,
And that's what we have to
it's-
think
we gotta
about.
figure that out
Yeah.
too,
Right.
because,
Now,
I
you
mean,
know,
the
on
boats
the-
are just getting bigger. Candlewood restricted theirs to 26.
Yeah,
Not too long ago, but there are a number of boats that are grandfathered in.
yeah.
Um,
What about
and I'm
Little
not
Nona?
sure because there's no restriction on Little
Oh.
Nona. The restriction on Little Nona is if you fit under the bridge. And if you don't, then you go in Pond Brook. Chances are your boat won't actually float though, so
Yeah.
you're really okay.
Different issue.
Yeah, because it's so shallow in there. But yeah, I mean, it's certainly a concern. Little Nona's not, I don't think you're gonna see, certainly nobody living in Brookfield on the lake, that you're gonna see anything bigger than, you know, a 30-foot pontoon.
Yep.
These 26s, 28s are fairly common.
Right.
30s not unheard of. And, you know, it's just a floating barge, but, you know, you end up, like I showed, you know, you end up with a big white marshmallow
Yeah.
in
Where
the
do you
yard
put
in
it?
the off-season.
Right.
Now, is there also an issue with derelict boats, or is it just people leaving their normal, like, boats that are generally in good condition?
Yeah, none of them are derelict, there.
Yeah, but you can't say that there are definitely derelict boats.
Correct.
Just
In-
like
in
derelict
my neighborhood,
cars.
none of them are.
No,
yes.
right, but, look, but that's just in
Around
general.
town, that's a different story.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you can see them.
Let me rephrase that. I lied.
It's not,
Again, the other neighbor.
yeah,
I think
nah,
there's-
it's not uncommon.
There's two. One's hanging off a trailer in
Mm-hmm.
the backyard, and there may be one or another one somewhere in the yard.
There is a blight commission.
Could there,
Yeah.
could there be a
Yeah.
That
requirement?
could take care of that
Yeah.
for
The
you.
same way you can't leave a car with no license plates on it parked in the
Just
roadway.
one.
Just one.
With the exception of one, should there be
Yeah.
a rule for boats that if the boat isn't registered, then it can't stay? Like, you can leave it there
We-
if it's registered, but if it's an unregistered vessel, then
Uh,
you can't.
I don't
It's
know.
not-
I'd
it's
have
not
to,
up to
let
date
me
on
ask
state
the attorney on
registration.
that one too.
But that opens up a Pandora's box.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that, We're-
Just an idea, I don't know if that's gonna work.
Well, that's what we need, ideas.
certainly
And
unacceptable.
then we can throw it all together. Yes.
Unacceptable, especially in a questionable area, I would
Mhm.
think would be, but how that's worded and all that. and-
Yeah, of course.
But,
You know.
but if you've got a, not to throw my neighbor under the bus, my neighbor lives in New York, he's got a house, he lives next door to me.
Yeah,
They're in the midst of, they're gonna sell their main house to move here, they're retiring.
yep.
They've got a boat's registered. Boat's registered in New York.
It doesn't have to be registered in Connecticut, just
It does,
has to have a
well,
registered.
No, but
On the
tracking,
water, though, if it's on the water for, I forget what their regulation is.
Oh, for Connecticut,
yeah,
Yes, it's,
you have to re-register.
I think a month or something like, it's not long. It's gotta be registered in the state.
yeah, but,
Okay.
but the issue is, one, proving it, and the reason why is the boat's trailered and not in the water. If they put it in for the day, it's a day, it's not a month. So if it was tied up in like Echo Bay
It would be a
or
matter of
Marina,
enforcement
right,
noticing it.
right. Again, but that opens up Pandora's box, because how does the.
Well, let's not worry about that.
No, I just,
Yeah.
in general, it's just, how do you enforce it? How do
I
you
don't-
go
I-
and check the registration of
We
an
don't even
out-of-state?
know if you can.
That's-
That's
Well,
why
I
I
mean,
have to ask
the
boats,
point.
boats are actively
No,
registered.
I mean,
though,
we
with the
don't even know if
state.
that's
That is-
legal
Yeah, I mean, it's,
to require
so
registration.
the nice part about New York
Again, agreed.
is
Yeah.
their registrations are like 4 years for a boat,
Mhm.
whereas Connecticut is every year.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, so
Yeah, I think-
some people are less inclined, just like registering,
A
the
car, yeah.
cars in
Yeah.
certain other states, they're less inclined to, go ahead and transfer the registration.
Well, there's also a tax liability.
my-
You've got an out-of-state plate.
But that's
So-
a different department there.
No, but the registrations for a boat would be the same way, just like a trailer
Yep.
or anything else.
So why don't we, let's wrap it up.
He opened
We
up
could
this
be
Pandora's
doing the,
box.
everybody's gotta get home, including me. I'll write this down, send it out to the commissioners so they have it so we know what we discussed, so everybody can go and look at these other areas, including Candlewood Shore and Arrowhead Point, and also some of the ideas we had tonight.
Yep.
So everybody can put their thinking caps on and I like the idea of constraints and topography because sometimes in our regs, we can have may. We may do this based on that. If we put it in there, then we have leeway. If we don't, then if the reg is written a certain way, then that's it. But if we add some mays in there, then we
and
may
that's-
consider
yeah.
this, we may consider that.
That's
But
the
we can't
concern
make
I
it-
have is
yeah.
how it's worded and
Yes.
what's,
So,
what's acceptable, what's, if there is, like I said, stuff I'm talking about predates 2018 by
Yeah.
a long shot.
so I'll look that up. I'll see what the regs were before 2018. I have full copies.
Okay.
Yeah.
How far back do you have?
Well, whenever they did regs, they put a effective date on when it was put in. So I don't know when they started doing that, but I can go back. They go back to 2000, stuff like that. Pretty far
those are
back.
all-
So I can see,
Oh, well before that.
when they had the recreational. When
Yeah.
did they make
put
that
in.
effective?
Yeah.
This is new. Yeah,
So,
but I
and
didn't
if it-
pull it
any,
up. I mean, there's something here.
so going to that idea, anything predating that,
I'll have to ask,
We'll have to
is
figure
it,
that out.
can that be grandfathered or not? That's something to the town attorney. He's like, absolutely not, or it's like, yeah, case by case, or who knows? Who knows?
yeah,
But I'll find out.
sounds good. Thank you.
All right.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Yeah, Tony, great, thank you. And do I have a second?
Just
Second?
real quick, the date on for the next meeting.
Is March 26th.
Yeah, not 12.
Yeah, that's today. Yeah, next meet is March 26th at 7 PM, because we already did our aquifer. So, and as I mentioned, Scott Dale will be chairing the meeting that day. I won't be in. All right.
Adjourn?
Oh, no, I need a second.
Second.
Thank you, Greg, and all in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, adjourned at.